This episode of Her Design, Her Story is proudly sponsored by Royal Oak Floors, the founders of engineered oak flooring in Australia. Elegant yet durable, practical yet luxurious, Royal Oak Floors have formed the foundations of inspiring Australian architecture and interior design for over 20 years, with flooring products that are uniquely tailored to Australian lifestyles. Royal Oak Floors is proud to announce the launch of 4 new colours in its renowned Architect collection, the result of collaborative workshops in which design professionals shared emerging trends, unmet needs and evolving preferences in Australian interiors. We're proud to partner with a brand that values craftsmanship, sustainability and the stories behind every space. Explore the new colours at royaloakfloors.com.au. Today, I'm delighted to welcome Kerrie-Ann Jones to the podcast. Kerrie-Ann is an accomplished stylist and designer with a passion for creating spaces that feel both beautiful and personal. With a keen eye for detail and an intuitive understanding of how interiors tell a story, she has built a reputation for bringing homes and spaces to life through thoughtful styling, balancing both aesthetics and authenticity. Throughout her career, Kerrie-Ann has worked across various media and interior genres, collaborating with homeowners, designers and other creatives to transform spaces into environments that are inviting, functional and visually compelling. Her approach is grounded in the belief that great styling isn't just about following trends. She has also worked in other areas of the creative industry, including publishing, mentoring, and more recently adding a retail component to her offering. Today we explore Kerrie-Ann's creative journey, what inspires her work, how she approaches each project, and the value that styling and design brings to each different process. Kerrie-Ann, welcome to Her Design, Her Story. I'm thrilled to have you in the studio in Melbourne today.
Thank you for having me.
I'm very excited to speak to you. As I mentioned to you earlier, I've been a huge admirer of your work over the years and what I'd call your brand. You've done some really fascinating things in your work in the creative space, which I'm very excited to speak to you about. But I did want to go back to the beginning of your career journey because I know your first pathway was quite different.
Yes, it was.
To interiors. Could you talk me through a little bit around that initial pathway for you when you finished at school?
Yeah, so I worked in music publishing for about 9 years. When I went to a performing arts high school and I went there for dance, but I did not want to be a dancer. I just enjoyed dancing. And then leaving high school, I had absolutely no idea what I wanted to do. And my best friend said, why don't you study marketing? And it's focused on entertainment marketing. So I was like, great, I'll do that. And really enjoyed the course. And I was really lucky in that, I had 2 people. I had her saying, do this course. And then I also had my next door neighbour who was quite a famous cricketer at the time.
Oh, wow.
And he was like, why don't you do some work experience for my manager? Okay, cool.
Amazing.
So he got me that introduction, and that manager also managed Barry Humphries and
oh, wow.
Yeah, Dame Edna show. So I worked on that for a little while, and they had some other like Channel 9 celebrities. So it was quite eye-opening. Yeah. And just it's really fun and a great way to start my career. And then moved into music publishing, and that's like background music for TV shows.
Oh, okay. I was going to ask you what exactly that was.
I worked with a lot of TV shows like The Block, so I would help them find music, like background music for the show. Oh,
I often wondered how that happened because there's so much out there.
Yeah. So I would create playlists for them in different styles. And then from there, I did it for 9 years and I felt a little bit burnt out, to be honest.
Yeah.
And I was renovating my apartment at the time. So I had an apartment in Coogee. I couldn't afford it, to be honest. Yeah. I don't know what I was thinking. But it was a 2-bedroom apartment and I was just into renovating and, looking at magazines like Real Living, Inside Out. and just getting very inspired. And I was like, I think I want to pursue this. So I ended up studying design, and I also reached out to Real Living and said, can I assist on a photo shoot?
Yeah.
And I assisted Sarah Ellison.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So I ended up becoming her assistant for a little while, for a few years. And then there was just a position, an editorial coordinator position at Real Living that opened up. So I did that for a little while and worked with the team. And then after that, I left and fell pregnant with my daughter. So then I became freelance. I was assisting, but then after that I was like, okay, I think I'm ready to jump into the role of stylist. And I had left my music career behind. I was like, okay, this is what I want to do, and and manage that in between having a newborn and starting my new career.
Very impressive.
It was not easy. Yes, it really was. And from there, I worked freelance, and what I did was I would find really beautiful homes, and I worked with a photographer called Marie Homer.
Oh, yes.
I don't know if you know her work. She's a beautiful photographer. And we would shoot the homes and pitch them to the magazines, and I would write the stories. So that's sort of how I got my work first published with styling. And then after a few years of freelancing and doing various shoots for other magazines as well, Sarah Ellison left Real Living, and that position opened up, and then I ended up taking that role.
Oh, right. Okay.
Yeah. So
that's amazing.
Worked in, that job really threw me in the deep end.
Yeah.
It's a big role. It's a lot of responsibility, styling cover shoots. It was a lot, but I absolutely loved it. It was great, although very difficult at the time because I had taken that role and my son was 6 months old.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So
exhausting.
Two little ones and a big full-time job. It was a lot, but I learnt so much, and I'm really grateful for that role. It really led to a lot of opportunities once I left. So,
and probably would have met some quite interesting people from that design side.
Absolutely.
I really miss Real Living. It was a great magazine.
It really was.
But they championed a lot of local brands as well and design. Yeah. When you were going through that process, sorry to backtrack, I find that really fascinating. But really inspiring that you took the initiative to go and photograph people's homes to kind of build a portfolio and use that content. How were you finding those houses? Was it through
a lot of research through Instagram? I would say Instagram probably. I remember one house I actually just walked past, and it was a warehouse. This girl was she was a prop stylist living in a warehouse, and she had the roller door open one day and just all her props everywhere. It looked incredible. And I was like, can I come in? Can I photograph your house for a magazine? She was sure. And that one ended up in Real Living as well. So it's just random places
because I often wonder how there must be so much untapped content out there.
There really is. I mean, I think when I was, probably breastfeeding my kids, I'd be scrolling on Instagram looking for houses to shoot. So there was, a lot of research through Instagram, and then just word of mouth. If there was an artist who I, thought, oh, they've got good style, maybe I'll, see what their house is like. It was just a lot of different places.
I often find it sometimes when a project's just finished, there's sort of this motivation in that moment. You think I'll get it photographed and I'll, see what I can do with it. But it's often, there are some projects where they're completely finished, so to speak, but often there's a few gaps in art, and I know a lot of people, you can borrow things and that kind of thing, but it becomes this huge exercise, as you would know, or letting the garden establish, and
that's right.
There must have been quite a lot of wonderful properties, I think, if you did come back in 2 or 3 years after people had actually been living there.
Yeah, definitely. People would have, collected things over time. So that was quite a fun sort of introduction into the industry. That was a way of getting my work published, because couldn't really just sit around and wait for an opportunity to come to me. So I found it and submitted it and got them published that way. So, yeah.
Oh, that's amazing.
Yeah.
So taking a little bit of a step forward, you've got your amazing business, Kerrie-Ann Jones, which incorporates quite a few different facets, which is, it's very inspiring. What was that sort of a natural extension for you once you'd been doing the magazine styling to sort of go out and start your own business?
Yeah, so after I left Real Living, it really opened a lot of doors for me.
Yeah.
Because I had become, I guess, friends with a lot of brands, interior designers, lots of people in the industry. They knew that I was now available for styling shoots. So primarily, and when I left Real Living, it was mostly editorial styling or styling, shoots for brands. And then it's evolved into different things.
Yeah, it's
now
amazing.
I'm styling, a range of projects. It might be residential, it might be an editorial shoot, it might be hospitality venue.
Yeah.
So in terms of styling, there's lots of projects that I'm working across, which I love. I'm someone that needs, I don't know, I need change quickly. Like
Same.
I get bored.
Same. I've realised that, and I think that's why I like making slightly spontaneous decisions. Not massive ones, but like a random trip somewhere, or suddenly just shift some things around at home, or
it makes a difference. You just, I need that for creativity. I think I just don't want to just stay on the one project. So, all the projects that I do are very different. Yeah, but I love that.
Yeah, no, that's really interesting. I think that concept of styling has really evolved as well. I think people potentially underestimate how much skill and time and consideration goes into it. I see it a lot from a residential design point of view. It's a big task, and
it is.
I'm not very like, I often end up sort of having a hand in it, but it is actually quite hard to curate and understand the proportion of even creating a photograph, and then how that actually translates to real life for people. And it is a big job. For photo shoot styling, it's more than, I think some people just think, it's just bringing in a few props and making it look pretty. It's not. It's like 5-10% of the role. A lot of it is logistics. Yeah, I always say that I'm a part-time courier, part-time stylist, because a lot of it is all like picking things up from suppliers. I do have assistants that help me with that, but also just organising the removalists, making sure things are packed well so they don't get damaged. I know, because we end up signing the waiver, don't we?
Responsibility that I lose a lot of sleep over. And just making sure, obviously, the composition is right in the photo. On the photo shoot day, it's making sure that we're running on time. So I have my assistant prepare the next shot, but also packing up the previous shot. So just so we're always tracking on time well, making sure we got a mix of shots of, full room shots, but also detail shots, because I know magazines love a detail shot or an opener for a story. So it's just, there's lots of things that you need to remember and be accountable for on shoots. And you're also moving furniture, even though you might have had a removalist drop things off. When you're doing the shot and you need to move the sofa a few centimetres, who's going to do it? You have to do it.
I know, and it becomes quite, I think I was saying to you earlier, I'm always surprised at my step count at the end.
Yes.
A photo shoot day from back and forward, and
that's right.
Slight movement.
Exactly. Yeah, it's quite a physical role.
Yeah.
It's like, I love it, but my body doesn't love it so much.
No, it is quite exhausting. Talking a bit around the support of staff around you. What's this general structure of your business like at the moment now you've grown, and how many years have you been operating?
I think about 12 or 13.
Oh, wow.
Yes. Yeah. So I work with a lot of freelancers. Yeah. So I have a freelance marketing manager. I have a freelance architect who works with me to do all my drawings and documentation. And then I have assistants that work with me for photo shoots and a remote studio manager as well. So everyone works remotely.
Yeah.
I don't have anyone sort of working for me full time. I like to be nimble with my business.
Yeah, yeah.
So that's how I operate, is just hire people as and when I need them for particular roles and jobs, and that's what works for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's been interesting speaking to a few people now as well. I think that aspect of the remote working, particularly in a creative environment, if a lot of work that you're doing is actually out of the office and on site and things like that, has actually worked quite well for people.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I prefer it. I also, in those quiet times, for me is December, January, I don't really have much work for someone. So if I had a full-time employee, I don't know what I give them.
I know, and I find,
it's
that sense of responsibility,
I
guess,
exactly.
as well. Or if I've had freelance staff, they also work for other people, which is completely fine. So they can sort of ebb and flow their workload.
Yeah, and I also like that, I don't know, I'm just not really managing too many personalities. All my freelancers work really hard and get the job done, and so I just find it's easier for me.
Yeah. You mentioned working with an architect and doing documentation drawings and things for you. Is your studio evolving more into that interior design full scope?
It is
set of work?
Yeah, that is the direction that I'm heading. As much as I love photo shoot styling, my body is not agreeing with me. So I am pivoting into design and really loving it. Yeah, I've got 2 projects that I'm working on at the moment, and they're both really beautiful and exciting. So
it's amazing.
Yeah, I'm really enjoying taking this sort of new direction, pivoting in my business. Yeah.
And interesting, I think, to be able to offer that full range of scope to clients as well.
Yes. Yeah. And I think my editorial background has helped me with visualizing how projects are going to turn out, and also just, I think, taking bigger design risks.
Yeah.
I think in editorial styling, there's a lots of flexibility. Everything can be fixed in Photoshop later on. And so you can dream big.
Yeah,
you can do whatever you want. Yeah. There's no restrictions. And I think having that sort of flexibility in my creative thinking has really helped with my design work.
Yeah.
I don't really see limitations. I just see what's possible.
Yeah.
And work with that. So, yeah.
And probably amazing, you would have got to experience a lot of different styles of spaces over the years working as well, which often we don't always get to do that. Or you end up in a few, whether it's friends' houses or clients' houses, but to actually be in fully designed environments.
I have been in so many design spaces. I was in a $50 million house last week.
Amazing.
So for styling a shoot for a designer. And, hospitality venue another week. So I'm exposed to a lot of incredible design and just little ideas, and just talking to designers about, how did you do this? Or what's your advice on this? I've been so lucky with the people that I get to meet and work with, and just the incredible work that they do that inspires me. Yeah.
Yeah, and also that sense of scale, I think, as well, which is important. A lot of that sort of comes with experience, doesn't it, of being in spaces.
Yes, definitely.
Yeah. Oh, that's really interesting. I know part of the work you've done as well is you released a beautiful book, Curated Style, Artfully Edited Homes. Mm-hmm. Was that sort of a culmination of those years of being out and editing and styling?
So after I left Real Living, I really wanted to do a book.
Yeah. And
so I came up with a concept. I pitched it to a different publisher who I didn't go with, and I was chatting with them for a few years back and forth. And I think I went up. Curated Style was my 3rd pitch to them, and they were a bit slow to come back to me. So I was like, I'm just going to send this out to other publishers.
Yeah,
and I heard back from 2. and spoke with both of them, and I went with Smith Street Books, who I'm published with now, because they gave me a lot of creative freedom. It's always been something that I've wanted to do. I have really wanted to, teach people on all the sort of styling tricks, all the knowledge that I know, because I get asked a lot on Instagram, how do I style this, or what's your advice on this? And so this is my way to make it accessible to everybody. And so it's got lots of practical tips, but also really beautiful, inspiring homes. And I ended up shooting it, like half of the book, the content is Australian homes and the other half is international. And
amazing.
so I went over to Europe and the US and Canada to shoot these homes, which was so much fun and really inspiring.
So if you're going into someone's house in the UK, for example, are you restyling what's in there, or just sort of?
I found homes that were already beautiful. Like I just brought flowers. I didn't need to bring in any props because they were perfect as they were. So it was just styling the shots for the composition of the photo. It wasn't bringing in any additional props.
Oh, that would have been amazing.
Oh, it was so much fun.
How long did that take to pull together something like that?
So I took 6 months off work to write it and shoot it.
Oh, wow.
But the process is much longer. So once I had submitted my manuscript and all the images to the publisher, it's another year from that date from when it gets published. So I think I submitted everything in May, and then we released on the 1st of April the following year. So there's a big editing process, and then there's the designing of the book, and then getting it printed. And so it's quite a long, it took at least 18 months to create.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Bit of a labour of love.
It really was.
Exciting though.
I absolutely loved it. I did not realise how much work it would take though.
It's been interesting speaking to a few people who have done all sorts, like different types of publications, but there's a lot of facets to it.
It really
interesting.
Is. Yeah.
It's good.
I'm really grateful for the opportunity, and it's now on its second print run.
Oh, it's amazing.
Which is really exciting. So it's done well.
I feel like it's very timeless.
Yes.
As well, like it's not necessarily anything of the moment, and I think a lot of the advice and information in there as well would see out, for quite a long time. It's really practical.
I agree. I went with a linen cover for that reason, because I wanted it to feel timeless and something that you could put on your coffee table and, it won't date. Oh, no, it's exciting.
The other aspect of your business I wanted to touch on was the Kerrie-Ann Jones Gallery, which you've got some beautiful things on your website.
Thank you.
Was that, again, did that feel like a bit of a natural extension of, obviously you're outsourcing a lot of objects and artwork and that kind of thing. Is that a bit of a curation of some of the key pieces that really resonate for
Absolutely.
you?
So I think working in styling, I come across so many beautiful things all the time, and lots of talented artists, makers, and I felt like I really wanted to give them a platform to share their work other than, what their platform. I have a big Instagram following, and so I really wanted to use that to show all their incredible work. So that was one of the reasons why I have sort of moved into retail. Just all these pieces that I find really inspiring, I just wanted to share with everybody else that might also find them beautiful too. And also when I went to Europe actually for the book, that's when I started sourcing some furniture pieces that I came across in Europe. I'm like, I really want to take these home. It's like finding treasure.
I know, it's so good.
The treasure hunt is exciting, and then bringing them back. And so, that was just, I really enjoyed the process of sourcing these pieces, and then we don't really have access to, we have some great vintage pieces, but I felt that what we were sort of lacking in Australia is like lots of Italian vintage furniture, which is really sculptural and just quite edgy and cool. So I wanted to bring that back because I find that we have a lot of Scandinavian and Danish.
Yeah, there's been a huge influence.
Mid-century. Yeah, so I wanted to have a bit more of a point of difference. And these are pieces that just resonate with me. So I'm happy to keep them in my house, to be honest. If they don't sell, totally fine.
Well, I think it's always good as well. I found I've started doing a bit more work in furniture with clients, which I'm really enjoying.
Yeah.
But it is that probably much like with the work, you really need to be very well versed across all the brands and things that are happening.
Yes.
But it is, I find now it is... it sort of adds that layer of depth, being able to layer with some of those more vintage or unique finds, I think.
Yeah, I agree. It's just one or two pieces. It doesn't have to be a whole space. I find that makes it look like a bit of a museum, which we don't want. But I think just, a beautiful vintage armchair can really make a room pop. So it's just, I've just loved the process of finding those really unique pieces and then bringing them home. And I like to do a photo shoot. So I'll style all the pieces so when we launch them, people can see them in context of a space rather than just on a white background.
Yeah, beautiful.
Yeah. So I get the fun of having to style them as well, which I love.
So is that something you're continually looking for new pieces, or is it a bit of when you're traveling?
Yeah, I am. So always looking for new pieces. I have great relationships with suppliers overseas, and they will send me photos and videos of pieces if I'm not traveling to Europe. So, and then I have a courier over there in Europe who will pick everything up, and we have a depot in Paris. So all the logistics are sorted.
Amazing. Yeah.
So I'm able to source really beautiful, incredible pieces, and I don't have to necessarily be in Europe to get these pieces because they send them to me. So
that's amazing.
Yeah,
I did want to touch on the idea of your Instagram, and I think a lot of what you're saying as well for me feels like there's quite a strength in the relationships that you have, whether it's with clients, suppliers. I know for things like styling, I do a very limited amount when I finished a project, but I think you realise so much of the success of projects is built on relationships.
Yes.
And I think even hearing you talk about the sourcing in Europe, that's, an incredible credit to you that, there's that valuable relationship in place. Is that something that you've found is just sort of a natural propensity for you? I know some people that can sort of make or break projects, is that sort of relationship with people. Has that become quite a foundation of a lot of the work you're doing?
Absolutely. Yeah. Look, I'm an introvert at heart, so I'm not someone that's very loud and out there, but I do really value good relationships with people and getting to know people, especially if I'm working with them on a photo shoot. I like to ask lots of questions because I'm genuinely interested in who they are, and it's not just for the sake of business. It's just because I like them as a person and I want to get to know them. And I think that just makes a connection as a friend.
Yeah.
And then those things build, and then they think of you for the next project or suggest you for someone else, another project. So relationships are definitely really important. Yeah. And it goes both ways as well. If they need my support in any way, I'll be there for them too. Yeah. So yeah.
Yeah, and I always think it's quite interesting. I think it's those innate parts of a process that you can't teach. There's just something natural with some people where there's that really great way of building a network, which is really important.
Yeah, it's so important. I've found that over my career, and I've been really, lucky that I have been exposed to so many people in the industry through editorial styling and so that's really helped build my network for sure. Yeah.
That's amazing. Talking about your network, you do have an incredible Instagram
page.
I'm terrible at Instagram, but I have been following you for a long time, and you've got really considered content. I think it's very easy now with, I don't really understand the algorithm, but I find it can be quite difficult if you, I was looking at mirrors for someone the other day, and the next minute all I'm seeing is mirrors.
Mirrors, yep.
Which can be frustrating because I'm thinking I've been there, done that.
I know.
Have you worked with people on your social media, or is that something that sort of naturally evolved for you over the years?
Yeah, so I have a marketing manager who I've had for the last 2 years, and we've worked on building my Instagram content.
Yeah.
But before then, no, I did everything myself.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
So I think I like to provide content that's helpful for people, first and foremost. Here's a styling idea, or, here's how to style your coffee table, here's how to style your bookshelves, or this is what I'm loving right now. And I think that resonates with people. They want tips and information, not just to be sold to all the time or whatever. So that's the content that I like to put out there, just trying to provide help and solutions, ideas, inspiration.
Yeah.
And I think that's really resonated with people. I also renovated my house, which is like a mid-century house, a few years ago, it was in 2020, and that went on the cover of Inside Out. And then when I posted that, my Instagram kind of blew up a bit as well. So that helped too.
Oh, that's good. And I do think I like watching. There are a couple of designers I love to follow as well who do post just a bit behind the scenes or something that's a point of interest, I guess, rather than just more a portfolio.
Yeah.
I always have high hopes, but I've never.
But you do have to be consistent, and it is hard. Like, that's why I got a marketing manager to help me with that, because I was just getting so stuck for content ideas, and also just you fall in and out of love with Instagram, don't you? Because it's it's exhausting, and so I have someone now who helps me with that to take the load off.
Yeah, and I find, the consistency is key, and just finding the right language. It was interesting having spoken to a few people in the creative agency side in the last few months. They were sort of talking about Instagram being more that forefront for people and the website's the complement, whereas it used to sort of be a little bit the other way around.
It is true. Instagram is definitely where I get a lot of my business from.
Yeah.
And then second to that is my website. So as much
as the backup. We'll just check in.
So they have a look at my Instagram first, and then they check out my website.
Yeah.
So as much as I love and hate Instagram, it just
serves a purpose.
It really does. It is so important, and being consistent on there is really important as well. Yeah.
No, that's amazing. Before we move on, I did want to ask you, I think it's been really inspiring hearing a lot of your intuition, and you've been really proactive, I think, as well, in taking steps to follow things that are really of interest to you, which I think is really inspiring. What would you say are some key personal attributes that you feel you have that have really helped you in following that pathway?
I think perseverance, tenacity, just because something didn't work, you just pivot. You just try something new. You don't let it get you down. I think working in editorial styling taught me a lot in terms of problem solving. So if something didn't turn up on a photo shoot, I remember once I had a photo shoot and the key artwork didn't arrive.
Oh, wow.
Which was going to make the shot. It was a huge, beautiful artwork. So it's like, okay, instead of, falling in a heap, oh my gosh, causing a drama, it's like, okay, got to problem solve. Figure this out. So ended up speaking to the supplier, can you send me the digital file? So went to Officeworks, got it printed, put it in a frame, used in the artwork. So it's just having to think on your feet, pivot when things don't work out, don't get upset about it. You just move on and try and find workarounds, or, if something isn't serving you anymore, then move on from it. So I think that background in editorial styling has really worked well for me in just keep going and try new
it's
things.
Quite fast-paced as
well.
It is,
And if you're not enjoying something anymore, then don't do it and find something else.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I think that's really inspiring, because you hear so many people who feel like they get to a certain age or point in their career and that's kind of that for them, and I think it's wonderful to hear the other side where people actually follow their passions and keep progressing.
I think, well, for me, I think, as I mentioned, my body is not agreeing with me with photo shoots anymore. After a photo shoot, I have to go have a massage the next day because my body is just spent. And my brain as well. I'm just so for me, that's why I'm pivoting into retail and interior design. Just because I can't do that forever, but I still really love interiors and being creative. So I'm just pivoting, and I think you need to be nimble with your work as well, and find other ways to be creative and do what you love. Yeah.
No, I think that's interesting, and it sort of keeps us motivated.
Yeah.
I did want to then touch on, I guess, finding inspiration. I think I always find it quite intriguing, given, you know, a lot of us have been working in the creative space for quite a number of years, ways that we continue to inspire and motivate ourselves. Are there any key sort of type projects or things that you build into your routine that really help you stay inspired?
Inspired, yeah. I love to visit hospitality venues for inspiration, because I feel like hospitality venues really push design.
Yeah.
You can take more risks with those spaces than residential. So I find visiting those spaces often is a source of inspiration. And then just on a daily personal level, I go for walks in the afternoon, and I actually a lot of the time don't listen to anything, and it's just me downloading my thoughts, and I find that I come up with a lot of ideas when I go for my walks, because I'm not thinking about work, or I'm not being busy by listening to something, and so it's giving my brain space to be creative and come up with ideas. Yeah. It's like when you do in the shower.
I think it's important. I feel like we were just away, and I came back to my desk recently, and I just sort of sat there trying to do sort of 15 different things. I had all these windows open, and then my phone's going, and I just thought I just need to go outside for a minute and decompress. It just becomes, it's a lot. And then if it's not that, I'm often looking at my phone.
Exactly.
And that's sort of, it's noise.
Exactly. It is noise. And just, as I was saying earlier when we were chatting, just on the way here, instead of looking at my phone in the cab, I was, looking at the buildings. There was some really beautiful buildings on the way here. One that had this incredible painted design from, top floor to bottom floor. And it was probably at least 6 or 7 stories. And I was like, I would never have seen that if I was just looking down on my phone. So it's just really taking, a moment to just look around you and be inspired by what you see, and not just what's on your phone.
Yeah. No, I think it's interesting, and I think the busier we get, it's harder.
It is.
I don't prioritise that space, but I think
you've got to take those moments. Like I took that moment when because I wasn't driving and I'm just in the back seat. It's like, okay, I'm just going to take a moment to just watch the world go by, and I love to
have a reset.
Yeah.
You, in line with all the work you're doing, you mentioned you have 2 children.
Yes, I do.
Which is busy.
Yes.
How have you found that balance over the years? I know there's sort of no magic way of making things work, but has that been something that sort of evolves as they have got older?
Look, I would have to say in the beginning of my career when I was at Real Living and I had 2 under 2, there was no balance. It was brutal. Absolutely brutal. I was not sleeping, and then I had to go on a cover shoot, and it was tough.
Yeah.
But now my kids are 9 and 11, so those days are behind me. They sleep now all the way through.
So life-changing, isn't it?
Exactly. It really is. And they're great kids. So, but I'm very fortunate. I have a lot of support with my husband. He's a stay-at-home dad. Yeah. So that helps for me with my work-life balance, because he does a lot of the school pickups and drop-offs and that sort of thing. So we've got a really great balance of how that works for us at home. So
yeah. And I think it's often that mental admin and life load as they
I
get
say
older,
he's
isn't
CEO
it?
of the house because he does all of the admin. Like there's absolutely no way that I can do it. I am so forgetful. I forget everything. He's on top of everything.
And I find that sort of particularly like school admin is quite a hard load to share.
It really is.
You're sort of all in or all out.
Just keeping on top of what's happening in the newsletters it's
Yeah.
it's a full-time job.
Yeah, I know, and with multiple children as well, it's a lot
yeah.
of WhatsApp.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's tricky. So I'm really lucky he takes care of all of the life
that's
admin.
good. Yeah. No, that's good. Before we wrap, I wanted to jump into the Her Edit questions.
Yes.
I'm interested for this one. Can you remember your first design or interior related purchase you ever made?
I can't remember exactly the very first one, but one that comes to mind is the Frank Gehry wiggle chair. Do you know that chair? It's like made of cardboard, layers of cardboard, and it's a wiggle design.
Oh, that's amazing.
Yeah, that piece I borrowed it for a shoot for Real Living, and I was just obsessed with it. And I couldn't stop thinking about it. So I was like, okay, I have to buy this.
Yep.
So I try and I have to do that because otherwise I have to give myself some space before seeing something and buying something.
Yeah.
It's just, am I buying this on impulse or do I really love it?
Yeah.
So I gave myself a few months. I'm like, okay, I'm still obsessing about this chair.
Yeah.
So, and that was a vintage piece and, I still have it today.
You still have it? Yeah, no, it's a beautiful, I love
Yes.
Frank Gehry's furniture. Very, very stunning.
Yeah.
Next travel destination, actual or aspirational?
So I was supposed to go to Copenhagen for 3 days of design this year, but because of everything that's going on in the Middle East, we had tickets booked to go by the Middle East, and I just was like, don't feel comfortable with that because I was taking the kids as well. So that's been parked. So that will be next year, but I'm doing a big Europe trip next year, and that'll be part of it. 3 days of design and back to Paris because I love Paris.
Yeah, gorgeous.
And we'll be going down to the south of France and up through Italy. And
yeah, beautiful.
Yeah. So that will be my next
amazing
destination. Yes,
yeah, it looks
Europe.
good, 3 days of design.
Yeah, it looked so good this year.
So good. Yeah, I know.
I think
FOMO on Instagram.
I really had FOMO too. This year looked the best that it has been in the last
I feel like
few
it's
years.
evolving, and maybe it's also there are a few people I know now who are showing pieces over there, which is really exciting.
Yes.
And then some wonderful suppliers from Melbourne and Sydney who are taking people. So I'm wondering if it's just getting a bit more traction.
I think so.
Yeah.
I think it's a great alternative to Milan.
Yeah.
To Salone, because that is very full on. I'm not sure if you've ever been, but
no, it's funny, the timings never quite worked out, and then the 1 year I was meant to go, I found out I was pregnant and I was so unwell. God bless my daughter, but I was glad I pulled I just thought this is going to be a really hard trip.
Yes, yeah. I actually found out I was pregnant with my daughter when I went to Milan.
Oh, amazing.
Salona, yeah. So that was many years ago.
Yeah.
But that is becoming so big and very hectic. So I think a lot of people are now going to 3 days of design because it seems a bit more chill.
Yeah.
But just still so much great design.
Yeah, and I'd love to get to Copenhagen and sort of a different part of the world for me. Yeah.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
That's exciting. It's always nice to have something to look forward
to.
Favourite creative icon, living or legend?
Oh, look, I really love Kelly Wearstler's work. I'm sure you get her all the time, maybe on the
For
podcast.
good reason.
Yeah, I just I think that she's a trailblazer for interior design for women, and I just love that her work is just so bold and she pulls it off.
I know, and it's that kind of
amazing,
that approach where no render or plan or elevation will ever capture the essence of that. And I think that's what I've found so amazing going into spaces she's put together. Like, how do you even? I don't know. I'd love to talk to her about her process.
I know, me too.
So many questions.
Yes. I went to Santa Monica proper when I was shooting the book. I stayed there. Absolutely
Isn't
incredible.
it? I stayed there with some friends a couple of years ago, and it's mind-blowing. The series of spaces and the way she's put all the furniture. I just thought this on a floor plan just wouldn't make sense.
No. Yeah, it's incredibly inspiring. That place. Yeah.
Yeah. I know she's a good one.
She is.
Final question. If your star was a celebrity, who would it be?
Ooh, I think Kate Blanchett, because I just love the way that she dresses. It's very sculptural, architectural and art-led. And I think that's how I approach my design, when I design or style spaces, I like to have a sculptural, element and art in there as well. So I just feel like my interior style resonates with her. Probably not my personal style. I could not pull off what she does.
She's got a wonderful, I was saying to you before, I saw her photographed leaving one of the shows this week in Paris. She's got an incredible air about her.
She really does. She's just so effortlessly cool.
Yeah,
isn't she?
I can't remember what brand it was, but it was sculptural but elegant, timeless. And I feel like she can work across a lot of different looks.
Yes.
Like I wouldn't sort of pin her to one.
Yeah, I love
aesthetic.
her style. So
yeah, she's a good one. Thank you so much for your time today, Kerrie-Ann. I know you've got a busy few days in Melbourne, so it's been wonderful to catch up with you.
Oh, thank you for having me. I appreciate it.